continuing with our journey in Emunah and belief. We spoke about previously that there are two important parts of Emunah. One of them is belief, Emunah, and one of them is Yediyah, knowledge. And we explained how Rav Shach, the great illustrious sage that lived about 15, 17 years ago, he explained how both of these things work out together. In essence, what you know, you don't have to believe, and what you have to believe, apparently you don't know. And we said that a person in his knowledge is limited, and therefore you are limited to a certain amount of intellectual capabilities, and that's when belief comes in. Belief begins where knowledge ends. But perhaps there's another explanation, and with this I believe it will, in a certain sense, sum up this segment of Emunah and what we were discussing. And that is that there are certain things in life that we do know, and yet we don't live with the knowledge. What does that mean? Sometimes people smoke cigarettes or cigars or other things, but let's not discuss them. And if you've ever seen a pack of cigarettes, no matter what company, there's a new, not so new anymore, but a law that requires the cigarette companies to put on the cover, the opening, that smoking kills. Smoking can cause cancer. Smoking will cause emphysema or many other, dangerous lung infections and bring about death. Basically, to sum it all up, smoking is not the best idea. We don't suggest it for the faint-hearted among us. So, smoking, even though you know that it's not good, you know that it's not healthy, but sometimes, for some people, even with that knowledge, they don't live with it. They don't follow it. They open up the pack and it says, oh my gosh, imagine a chain smoker is 90 years old, his lungs are black as tar, and all of a sudden he goes, I had no idea that smoking was dangerous. I want my money back for all these years. Chances are it won't happen. But imagine you open it up and it says it's not a good thing, and most people put it in their mouth anyways. Why would that be? Are you going to kill yourself? Are these cancer sticks? And the answer is because no matter what you know, you don't necessarily live with that knowledge. You can know something clearly. It says it on the package. This little stick is going to kill you. Cancer is a definite, but you don't internalize it in a way that it will cause you to change your life. Emunah and Yediyah, knowing God exists, we can know today that there is definitely a God. We can see His great miracles. We can see the wondrous ways that He has saved the Jewish people. You can see the depth and the infinite wisdom that there is in the Torah. And yet, with all that you know, it may not change your life to live with that knowledge. Emunah, belief, is to use that knowledge to make a permanent change in the way that you will live your life. If you know that smoking is bad and you believe that smoking is bad, then when you are craving that cigarette, but you remember, it's not a good idea for me. If I believe that concept truly, then I will stay away, I will refrain from it. Obviously, we mean to point fingers at nobody. No one can understand the difficulties and the pressure and the addiction to smoking. God forbid, we would never point fingers at somebody. But the point is that to live with the concept that you know, to take it a step further, that it's not just an abstract knowledge, but it's something that you internalize in the way you live your life, that is emunah, that is belief. The Gemara tells us that Chavakuk, the Navi, the prophet Chavakuk, Hamidan alachas, he basically summarized Judaism into one nutshell in a certain sense. And he said, Tzadik be'emunasa yichya, a tzaddik, a righteous person, will live with his emunah. What he meant to say was that a truly righteous person will live with the things he believes in. He won't just believe it and go further, but he will live with it. It will turn into his life, into the reality that he lives. Imagine if you have a professor who speaks in all the colleges about how bad overeating is, and how bad cholesterol is and fat is, etc. And while he's giving his class, he's eating a double chili burger with an order of fries and a Coca-Cola that's not diet. Chances are you're going to look at this professor and say, are you for real? Do you really listen to what you're saying? You're like, listen, I teach it. Doesn't mean I have to live that way. Emunah is not like that. Emunah is what you teach and you preach, you live, you believe. That's tzaddik be'emunasai, a tzaddik with his emunah yichya. He's going to live with it. It's going to be part of his life, his new reality. Sometimes we can know something with absolute clarity today. We can have an inspiration. A lightning bolt lights up our world, and today we see clearly the hand of God. And then tomorrow, we forget about it. I'm out of here. That's not emunah. Emunah is to live today with what you knew before. As the pasuk says, "Lahagid baboiker chastecha be'emunascha baleilos." You will tell over, lahagid, to tell over, baboiker, in the morning, chastecha, the chesed, the kindness of Hashem, be'emunascha, and his belief, baleilos, at night. The depth of the pasuk is coming to tell us that sometimes in the morning, when everything is clear, when we have intense clarity, when we are absolutely aware, inspired, and we see everything so clear, we see chastecha, we see the great kindness of Hashem. We have no questions whatsoever. And then comes Laila, and then comes nighttime. All of a sudden, we have questions, we're not clear, it's dark, there are sveikos, there are doubts. That's when emunascha, your belief, that's when it comes in. To believe at night with the truth you discovered during the day. Tzaddik be'emunasa yichya means don't just know it. Don't just understand it, but believe it and believe in it. Live with it. Take it the step further. Make it a reality. Make it part of your life. There's a famous there were famous yeshiva bachurim that used to travel around Europe, going different places, and they would stop in at lectures in different colleges. And the famous story was that they went into a lecture of a professor, and this is talking about 100 years ago, who was Mechadish, who was one of the first intellectuals who believed that smoking was dangerous. Now again, we're talking about 100 years ago, and everyone did it. They thought it was healthy. So this lecturer is giving a discourse about his understanding that smoking is bad for you. And as he's giving the course, he's smoking. So the yeshiva boys went over to him afterwards and they said, aren't you embarrassed? You were smoking while you're teaching everybody that it's bad for you. He said, if I teach astronomy, do I have to be a star? He said, if I teach, about math, do I have to be a hexagon? That is not the Jewish belief. The Jewish belief is what you teach and what you preach, you are. What you know, v'yadata, you believe in. Your yichya, you live with it. It changes your life. When I know God, when I know there is a God, the discovery that I have made in the clarity that I have in the kindness of Hashem, emunascha baleilos, even when it's hard, even when it's difficult, even when I'm challenged on what I believe, I will be faithful to that which I believe in. I will be faithful to the God I believe in, and in truth, I'll be faithful to myself. This is tzaddik be'emunasa yichya. A tzaddik lives, a righteous person lives with his emunah. He doesn't just know it, he doesn't just believe it, but he lives it. It's his new reality, it's his life.